I want to talk a little bit about your recording career. In 1971, you scored a hit single with the song you wrote and recorded, "The World Needs a Melody," which was on RCA Victor. I want to talk about the song itself, but before that, can you talk a little bit about like what led to you getting on the RCA Victor roster? How did that come about?
That's kind of lengthy, but I'll shorten it up as much as I can. Jack Stapp, who was the head of, the owner of Tree, I told him one day, I said, you know, Jack, I think I would like to be an artist. And he said, well, I think I know just the guy to talk to. So 2 days later, we went and had lunch with Chet. And of course, I'm sitting there all goggle-eyed because here's my hero guitar player, you know. And so I talked through lunch, and he said, okay. I said, now come and see me and stay with me. Don't let me up. He said, just keep reminding me of it, and I'll see what I can do. I said, okay. So I was, every morning at 10 o'clock, I was sitting in the office talking to his secretary, and he'd come down the hall and go by, and I'd say, good morning, Chet. And he'd say, good morning, Red. And then I was free the rest of the day to go and do what I did. You know? I did that for 6 weeks every day. And I found out that I had a job with Jan Howard going down to play a little place in Atlanta that you'd play for like a week at a time. And I was going to be gone for a week, so I sent Chet a telegram, and I said, Chet, I said, I'm sorry, I'm going to miss you the last, you know, I got to go to Atlanta for a week. But good morning, Chet, good morning, Chet, good morning, Chet, good morning, Chet, good morning, Chet. Love, Red. Whenever I got back, I was sitting in there the next Monday morning, and I said, good morning, Chet. He said, get your ass in here. It was amazing. Well, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the fact that I could do what I do and have been able to do it all of these years and to get paid enough for it to where I could keep doing that. That's the most wonderful thing in my life. That's the best I can tell you. That's it.
That's a great story. We've got... When RCA released that single, The World Needs a Melody, you actually appeared on the Johnny Cash show just a block up over at the Ryman Auditorium in 1971, I believe, and appeared on 1970, and appeared on that show. So let's roll that footage of Red on the Johnny Cash show.
I'd like to introduce you to a man named Red Lane. He's our next guest. He's a fine songwriter and singer, and one of the reasons that Nashville is the great music city that it is. For the first time on our show, here he is, Red Lane.
The world needs a tune that it can hum. The world needs a guitar that it can strum. The world needs a melody that it can sing, 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 sing. Now let's all sing together in the sweet by and by. We shall meet on that beautiful shore, together. The world needs a reason to clap its hands. The world needs needs a leader for the band. The world needs a melody that it can sing, 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 sing. Now let's all sing together. Give us that old time religion, give us that old time religion. Together in the sweet, give us that old time religion. In the sweet, give us that old time religion. Together.
Who is that guy?
So what's the story behind the actual writing of the song?
Well, Larry Henley, one of my best friends, came to me one time and he said, I would like to write songs. He said, I don't want to be the guy that sang, I like bread and butter, all my life. And I said, okay. And said, follow me around and just stay with me. I used Chet's line, you know. And he did, boy, just, and the first thing that we wrote, basically, was with Johnny Slate, was The World Needs a Melody. And it was pretty good. And it was one of those times whenever RCA said, bring us a hit song and we'll run with it. And I said, well, thank you. So I took them that, and then it went up to, it was like #1 in L.A. and Pittsburgh and about 7 or 8 other places. And it was, I went to another meeting and I said, what happened? They said, well, we kind of dropped the ball on that one, but if you'll bring us another one, we'll run with it. And about that time, I started thinking about phasing out of them, of being an artist, because it's just a little too short. But anyway, Larry would come out to the boat, and I'd call him about 10 o'clock at night, because I'm stuck with being a night person. And being out on the boat, not drinking, of course. And I'd call him, and he'd say, okay, I'll be there. And an hour and a half later, he'd come, and about the time he got there, I was folding my tent, you know, about midnight. And so he'd write about 40 verses, and then he'd wake me up and say, well, listen to these, and he'd sing them all for me. And I said, no, that ain't it, and go back to sleep. And well, bless his heart, he stayed with us, and then, of course, he and I, his first #1 record was Till I Get It Right, but he and I wrote that together. And then, of course, the Scoundrel, he was writing a song, and he told me that he tried to get a hold of me to help him finish it, but I think they lie when they say that kind of stuff. And the song was a little piddling thing called Wind Beneath My Wings. And he said, I was trying to find you, and I said, I want you, and I said, Larry, don't tell me that, I'll kill you. And that thing, the last I heard, it was like, what, approaching 9 million airplays. Yeah. And just, see there, you didn't even have to be here.
Yeah, I know Larry regretted not being here today. When I emailed him about this program, he emailed back insisting we change the date of it so he could be here, but but we weren't able to do that.
That's Larry, man.
But he wasn't the reference you made to that song Bread and Butter, that's because Larry was in that band, the New Beats.
Yeah, he was the singer in the New Beats.
But then, so you of course, your RCA record came out on The World Needs a Melody, but then it's been covered over the years by the Kingston Trio, George Jones and Tammy Wynette, Kenny Rogers, Bill Anderson, and then Mother Maybelle and the Carter Sisters with Johnny Cash scored a top 40 hit with it in 1972, and we've got a great photo of you and Mother Maybelle when she was recording.
Great, man.
Yeah,
I loved her, man.